again, I could say that this is one of my favorite tools, but it's every time I install a new tool, that's my new favorite tool. And I have 3 more to show you today. So this is, I don't even know what you would call it, a jointer. It does 3 operations in one pass. It does a 45-degree miter cut. It does 2 holes for dowel, and it does a finger joint pass through 2 shaper heads. So in one sweep pass of the table through all those 3 aggregates, you end up with a piece that's cut on a 45-degree angle that interlocks in all 3 axes. You want me to show you? So first they're going to put it on manual. You start with 2 straight pieces of wood, cut at the right length, and you put them on the table, and there's a stopper that the pieces stop into. Like this. You start all the blades, and then with one press of a button, that's my foot, you're gonna have the blade coming up and cutting. Then you're gonna have the 2 router bits drilling the hole. Then you're gonna have the 2 shaper heads making the finger joint. So now the pieces have an exact miter on them, which is 45-degree, and is dictated by the way the table is set up. And they'll just go finger joint one into the other with the dowel locking them into place. So the 45 makes the joint look proper. The finger joint prevents movement up and down, and the dowel that's inside of the 45 prevents sliding motion of the 45, which happens a lot of times when you're putting pieces together with a 45-degree cut, because I'm going to have wood glue inside here, making the 2 surfaces very slippery. But putting the dowel inside of the hole, half of the dowel goes in one piece, the other half goes in the other piece. They're being interlocked by the finger joint, and it closes in perfect. You see, it stays even without glue. But then once you put the glue inside here, this is by far the strongest joint, miter joint that you could do. Now I'll just prep them. Just put the dowel, because half of the dowel goes in one part and half of the dowel goes in the other part. So let's see. How would it look on this beautiful blue mat that's going to go on the sanding tables? So, dowel in the hole, finger joint lined up, and you close it. So now, because you have this type of joinery, what you could do is just 2 clamps and close it in on 2 directions, and they're going to close perfectly. But us, we're going to go with the clamp machine actually and put it together. A little bit trickier because they're very small, so I don't have both points of contact touching it, but this is the idea. You put wood glue on them, you bring it to the clamp machine, this is how a cabinet door would start, with this type of wood. See, like full of splinters and rough surface. And this is a white oak. You would start with the raw lumber. This would have to be cut in strips depending on the design of the door. Most of the time, the frame of a 5-piece door is 2.25 inches. So I would have to start with it slightly larger than 2.25 inches, because from raw lumber, this is going to have to be machined on all 4 sides, meaning eliminating all the rough surfaces on all 4 sides on the newly cut strips. At the beginning, we used to cut them on a table saw, and that's how most people do them. Then we upgraded to putting an automatic feeder on the table saw, but still cutting 1 strip at a time. The final upgrade for us was a multi-blade saw. So it's a 20 horsepower saw that I can put, I think, up to 10 blades on it. And I can cut with 10 blades in 1 pass. The most I have cut was 2x12, roughly, size. Like it's an 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches. Thick oak wood. And it went like through butter. So you would cut this in strips. Then the strips, if you want to just get them planed nicely, you can do it on the single-sided planer, where you could do the top, then you flip it, you do the bottom, then you flip it, you do one edge, then you do the other edge. The solid wood would come out through the rip saw in strips. And like I said, you could plane them one side at a time using a planer and a jointer, which is on the other side. Or, actually, no, let me bring that. Sides smooth on the raw lumber that comes from the rip saw. You could do on a jointer, you're doing the edges, like both edges, and the surfaces, you can do them on the planer. You do one side and then you do the other side. Or you can put them through a 5-head molder, and maybe which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the bottom, right here. Knives that spin at the same time. So by putting the piece once through the machine, you get all 4 sides done, and you have an extra 5th one to add some sort of a molding or a detail to it if you want to. But most of the time I'm using this machine just to get the lumber perfectly squared off and clean on all 4 sides. And then from there, it goes to the jointer that we saw, that does the miter saw, the finger joint, and the dovetail. Then it goes to the clamp machine, where it gets put together, and you have a door or a frame, the one that we just made. Once it dries, it comes back to the drum sander. This is where the surface, all the joints of the door are going to be sanded on the same plane using a wide belt sander. So we have a 36-inch wide belt, and it's two of them actually in this machine, one after the other. One of them has a rougher sandpaper, I think it's a 120 grit sandpaper, and the other one has a 180 grit sandpaper. This does the rough sanding, removing all the excess glue that might be there, the unevenness in the joint, if there's any. And then this does perfect smooth sanding that you can paint or stain that door once it goes through. But once you have done all the assembly of the door and the sanding of the frame, the door is very close to being ready for stain or paint.